Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian owned, not to control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. This is Trust Christian in the vault. Own, nothing control everything. Today is Tuesday 420. This is the vault episode 307. It's yours. Is it your social security number or is it your SSN? So this is the vault episode 307. Is it your SSN? And really wanted to do this episode because we always have a bunch of people, contact the vault asking questions about, and really just more so having a possessive mentality as if they own the social security number. You weren't born with the social security number, but for some odd reason people have this possession over it. And so we're just going to talk about those things today, address those things today. Appreciate West Palm Beach for tuning in live, listen to replay. Shout out to West Palm Beach. Appreciate you. Once again, this is the Vault episode 307. Is it your social security number? Very important episode because so many people throughout the years have asked the Vault about the social security number. Do they give it up? Do they keep it? What do they do in that respect? They also, when we talk to trustees, it's always a question of do you actually own the social? A lot of them don't say that they don't own it. A lot of them will say that a lot of them don't say that they control it either. We asked some questions even in this past week on trustee training. A lot of people were just not wanting to be wrong. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a question of are you right or are you wrong? I mean, this is something that you can look at for yourselves. That's why we talk about these topics. These are topics that trustees consultations continue to reach out and talk to us about throughout the years about having a social security number, knowing that they don't want to collect poverty welfare benefits. Um, just appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Once again, this is the Vault 307. Is it your social security number or SSN? And it's just a great topic to talk about because so many people come to the vault with a possessive mentality saying, oh, it's my social, or no, it's my this. It's like they have to take this last slide of ownership as if it gives them some level of benefit by being an owner. It's sort of like your credit score versus a business credit score. Which one's going to be able to acquire more credit, a business or personal situation? Business. So why are so many people left in a sole prop position? Oh, you should own the company. Why? So it can be tied to your social? Is it your social that's going to make you tax liable? Because if it's your social, you think you should have one? What was the benefit of the social? Who was the social for? Is it for people in trust, people that are wealthy, or is it for if people say, "Oh well, trust Christian in the vault"? I haven't transitioned fully into the private yet, and does that make a difference? It does make a difference. When are you going to transition into the private fully? People say, "Oh man, well, trust Christian in the vault. Do I got to give up the social?" Are you willing to give it up? 'Cause that's what our mentors asked us. Are you willing? One of the mentors said, we had a conversation, brought this up before. Mentor says, well, uh, you won't be able to get the handouts that they give out in college if you go to if you give up the social. You won't be able to get those Pell Grants, the government money that allows you to get through school. Oh really? Oh really? You won't get in because you don't get the handout money. Is that for everybody? No, no, no. It's for the poor people. Right. It's for people that are in the middle class, people that don't want to do the work to go on their own, so they go take handouts. They take what's called free money when there's no such thing as free money. They say student loan is crazy nowadays. But people are taking out student loans for a degree that they may not come out and actually work in. So is it your social? Is the degree yours if you still have student loans? Are we going to see them move to this position where because you have student loans, hey, it's affecting all areas of your life now. You can't get loans out because you got a student loan. This type of thought process But people are taking out, they got a degree, they might not have a job in that field, and they might have a car that's in debt. They might have a mortgage that's in debt, and they're in student loan debt. But these are the people that are walking around making everyone else look like they're not working hard enough. Why? Because they're not living off of bad debt, bad credit to make their life look better. Is that what the social is for? Is that what your social is for? Is your social for bad credit purposes? And then when people go in and start a sole proprietorship, they still go deposit money in their own personal bank account instead of opening up a business bank account and separating it. And in business, we already know, own nothing, control everything. Asset protection comes from asset separation. If your social security number owns that bank account, if the social security number owns the bank account, who's the beneficiary? The social security number. And who is standing in place of the social security number as the beneficiary? You are. So you're supposed to be the trustee of assets for the name. Those are two different things. See, the name versus the social security number are two different things. And that's why we eat the Moors up every time. Because they want to tell you, oh, this fringe group, the Moorish group, oh, well, if you go out there and, the social security number doesn't own the name owns the social security number. BS. The government, the Social Security Administration, be it the Social Security Administration Act, created these numbers to be issued for Social Security purposes. When you go to the IRS, same organization that issues SSNs, they actually have EINs for you to do business in a proper position. Bottom line. Everybody says this, everybody says that. Why did your lawyer not tell you to go get an EIN to start a business? Well, you depending on your lawyer. They're in the public. We're in the private. We're talking about private versus public. It's the name versus the social security number. Is it your social security number? Is it your SSN? How can you own something you didn't create? How can it be yours and you didn't create it? It's not yours. It's to make you think that you need this number. And if you don't have this number, you'll never be able to survive without this number. That's why people call the vault frantically. That's why they call the vault shook and scared. Oh, wow. Well, I don't want to be up under the thumb of the system. I'm willing to obey laws. But I just want to make it a point to not have this number that's making me pay for something that if you make a certain amount of money, you can't even collect Social Security. That's how poor people are. If you make too much money, you cannot collect Social Security. Go check with your financial advisors. Go ask them. If I make $50,000 outside of my Social Security, if my 401k makes more money out of my Social Security, oh, for all you guys that thought you were going to defer your taxes to the end of your life and you thought you were going to make all this interest on it, guess what? The government got their money back. It's called tax deferral. They got the money back. One way or another. Somebody posted into a group chat that we're in the other day about this gentleman leaving his wife a mummy. He bought a mummy. But the thing about it is, it's a long, drawn-out story. It's rather boring. Nevertheless, it's about the fact that the gentleman did a public trust versus a private trust. He did a living trust. He tried to not leave her $5 million. He did all this craziness. He bought a mummy. He did all types of craziness. Because he didn't want to leave his wife any money. But what happened? It was inside of a trust. That's the benefit. But it depends on what type of trust. Is it public or is it private? Who created it? Is it in your name? This is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Is it your SSN? Probably not. But because we go through an American school system in the States, what you learn is that this system is all about ownership and debt and credit. And whoever owns the debt is liable. Whoever owns it. Whoever owns the credit benefits. But whoever owns, you have to own. Well, if you own something, you're liable for it. It's the same thing with your social. If the social owns something, it's liable. But how many people want to do proper bookkeeping with the social? How many people want to do proper due diligence with the social? Is it your SSN anyways? You're supposed to be the trustee of a public bankrupt entity. Let's go there. Let's talk to the Moors. Let's talk to these, what they call these other guys, 5%ers, nations of God Earth, all these different type of black groups that think that they're dropping the science and knowledge. They got these redemption groups. They got all these different people out here. Well, where are they at in the private wealth environments? We don't see them sitting there. We don't see them sitting there. We don't. We don't see these athletes. We don't see the celebrities. We see ex-athletes, but we don't see the current ones. Their managers are barely in the room. Appreciate Daniel Beach for tuning in live. Shout out to Daniel Beach for tuning in live. Listen to replay. Is it your SSN? This is a thought process. People enroll in trustee training for a thought process. You gotta let this thought process go. Otherwise, it's gonna kill you. It's gonna hurt you. Because you're not gonna be able to have productive conversations with people when you are in the incorrect mentality position. Appreciate Oakland for tuning in live. Listen to replay. Shout out to Oakland. We had someone tell us the other day, oh yeah, I made all this money. And because they thinking like it's their social, they damn near gave half the money back already. 6-figure check, just like that, gone. Because people don't got proper mentorship. People don't got proper counseling. They think it's their social. Well, the money could come to my social. Why? That's the highest tax bracket. Appreciate Charlotte, North Carolina for tuning in live, listen replay. Shout out to Oakland. Shout out to Charlotte, North Carolina. Appreciate Charlotte, North Carolina for tuning in live, listen replay. Feel free to type into the chat where you listen to live, listen to replay from. Is it your SSN? On the back of it, it says, if this isn't the card that you're supposed to be using, send it back. This is property of the Social Security Administration. Jersey City, shout out to Jersey City for tuning in live, listen to replay. Shout out to Jersey City. Is it your social? If you can let this go, you'll be free. I promise you. Because from the way it's looking, most people don't let this go. This is their straw. This is the camel that broke the straw's back. It's too hard because they've been under 18 years of programming to own something. You've been taught your whole life to own something. Why weren't you taught to control assets through business ventures and business vehicles? Because there's an information disparity. Wealthy people don't like competition. Poor people are. They're competition. We don't need any more rich people up here at the top. That's why you get cases like antitrust. That's why you get cases like monopolies and things of that nature. But who's the social for? Is the social for elite? Remember, you can't collect Social Security if you work a job, if you have a salary as a business owner, and you make more than a certain amount of money at the end of the year. Then you owe, or you can't collect. Hold on, Trust Christian. I gotta call the financial advisor. We gotta figure out what's going on here. We gotta figure out what is the case. When do we owe, or how do we owe? How do we stop collecting? Is it your social security number? How about you go find your social security number? Go ask them and look on the back of the card and see what it says. Is it your card? It says write the name of the. It's like a bank card. You know when you go into the bank and they tell you to sign the bank card, the signature card. Everybody wants to come to the vault and they want to say, well, the Social Security is a trust. Social Security number is a trust. Yeah. Who's the grantor? Well, it's your mom, or it's your dad, or it's the government. Okay, that's neither here nor there. Let's see. Do you like them or not like them? Well, they're taking money out of my pocket. If I make too much money, then I'm not going to be able to collect as I get older. Exactly. So why do you need this? Why do you need that number? You want to know what it's called? A false sense of security. Americans want a free lunch if they failed. They don't want to sleep in the car if they're homeless. They don't want to live on the street. You know how many successful entrepreneurs have said they went homeless before, but you're better than them? And that's why they will never collect Social Security. Mark Cuban of the Dallas Mavericks will never collect Social Security. Why? He makes too much money. He owns an NBA basketball team. Do you think somebody that owns an NBA basketball team is going to collect Social Security? So if you're planning on becoming a millionaire in your life, you already know what time it is. Let it go. You young bucks out there, if you're around poor people that are telling you your Social Security number and all this other good stuff, how you going to say you're trying to be a millionaire? How you trying to be a multimillionaire? How you going to make over $250,000 a year and think that you're going to collect Social Security when it's for poverty? It's poverty income. They actually are testing out a universal basic income program in Oakland right now. In one of the most expensive states in the United States, they are testing out a pilot program for, what is that called? Universal basic income. And they're trying to say, well, it's for the families that need it. So the government's picking and choosing who needs it? Oh, they're picking and choosing how much money you can make in your elder years. How much money you can live off in your elder years. But oh no, this is a conversation for independent fellows and ladies. How many people want a free lunch when they get older? Oh man, I work hard. I did back breaking labor. I never put a system in place. I didn't put a business in place. I didn't get a residual income in place. So I got to depend on SSN. So yes, it's my money. I'm the one that worked hard and put it in there. Is that not your argument? Isn't that people's argument? Well, I put the money in there. I'm entitled to the money. Now you find out where your tax dollars are going. It's not going to you and your children trying to get into the best college. It's not into your roads. Oh, you all know about potholes. You know about potholes in major cities. San Francisco, New York, Miami, Texas, D.C., Chicago. These are the prime states in America, and they have potholes in the major cities. But you okay with paying taxes in these democratic states? These states where they're charging people arm and a leg. Texas, no income tax. I think Florida's no income tax. California, high income taxes. New York, high income taxes. When was Social Security numbers created? Why didn't they have Social Security numbers when they started the country? Why do they need Social Security numbers? It is a slave program. Bottom line. It's a business move. Somebody gave you a number and said, hey, look, we're going to indirectly tell you have to contribute to this program. Indirectly. Why? Because the Social Security number is voluntary. You can't blame your parents. You can't blame the system. You have to take responsibility. Do you need the number or not? Do you plan on being in poverty or not? Do you need help with your medical expenses when you get older or not? The average person doesn't even know about a life insurance policy, whole life, term life, or otherwise. They don't see the benefit of having an insurance policy on the greatest asset that they have around them, outside of gold, silver, pearls, diamonds, cars, art, yourself. You. But hold on. So the government SSN is an insurance policy because it's in a trust contract, which says that money's supposed to be contributed and it'll give a disbursement at a set period of time and date. Sounds like a contract. Okay. But they still allow you, you're still able to go out and get your own private insurance that could be actually better than the policy they're paying you and collect it tax free. But oh no, no. The public has told people you can't do that in your elder years. You can't work your whole life, put money in an insurance policy, and collect it tax free. You got to do that with deferral programs because that's what your financial planner knows. That's what the people at your job know. We got entrepreneurs that come back to us. Oh man, we had to switch over from we had a job. We had to get our own insurance on our company. It's actually cheaper than when we were working for a Fortune 500. Is it your social security number? But you can pass along wealth tax free to your children. Guess what? Social Security Administration is taking their cut. It's like child support. They're taking their cut when they take it from one party and give it to the next. The Social Security Administration still collects taxes. They still collect it. Whether it's an IRS, whoever, it's still an agency that says, look, we are going to take this money because you are in this position. What position it is? You're in a position of ownership. Who owns the insurance policy that's on you? You or a trust or a business? The whole tax code is to tell you all how to minimize your tax liability. But we got people still walking around talking about, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You're right. It's your social security number. Retire in poverty. That's what the number's for. We got a whole public school system that is completely okay with putting a bunch of people, a generation, the first generation, the second generation, into what? Poverty. We have been in the Social Security Administration era for 100+ years now because people are lazy. They do not want to work their own plans. They don't want to fail. And they don't understand that all success is based off failure. You have to fail. So their security blanket is the Social Security Administration number. So for all you all that have it, just know that people on our side of the table, we know why you have it. It's not because you have no options. It's because of laziness. It's because of somebody not wanting to take control of their life. They don't want to take responsibility. When you want to take responsibility, you let go of someone outside of you and your creator give you anything. And the worst part about it is the government never gave you a damn dime. Everything that you get from the government is already paid for by someone else or yourself. There is no free lunch. They ain't creating no more air in the universe. It is what it is. It's the same thing with the money. Oh, they print more money. Out of what? Thin air? No. They have bonds. They issue credit. It's double entry bookkeeping. But oh no, you just thought they was issuing money on the public side. They're issuing debt on the private side. Private people are buying debt from the public because the public has outstanding debt. Business, corporate bonds, corporate debt, and public debt. People's, individuals. Is it your social security number? Is it your SSN? Most people, they gonna think it's theirs. They're never gonna let this go. They're gonna play with it too. Oh man, I know it's not mine, but are you gonna correct your speech? How many trustees do we have to correct their speech? Are you gonna correct your speech? You don't have a social. Well, Judge Christian, the police are gonna pull me over, because of some reason. And I'm not just gonna comply, give up the driver's license if I'm sitting in that seat, and let the company pay for the ticket. Oh no, Judge Christian, I've never seen that done before. I don't know how it's going to do that. Well, are you driving the company car? Judge Christian, I'm doing it that way. I am driving around, and I got a ticket. Okay. Did you own the car? No. Okay. You're not liable for the car. The car is actually responsible for you. The person who owns the car is responsible for you. Appreciate the Bronx for tuning in live, listen, replay. Shout out to the Bronx. Is it your social security number? Is it your SSN? We talked about this for years with trustees. Some of them get it, some of them don't. Because you're hanging around the wrong people. You give them the driver's license. You get the ticket. The company pays for the ticket. What are you, poverty level? Can you pay tickets? They can't issue tickets to people that are in poverty, right? People that are really, really poor. They issue it to people that look like they have the means, that can pay a ticket. Is there an exception to the rule? Of course. But is it your SSN? Not really. It's called voluntary consent, ladies and gentlemen. The system is waiting for you to voluntarily consent so you can become a part of the general welfare fund, the homeless fund, the degenerate fund, you dying indignant fund. People die without a will. Y'all know that? People die without wills. Let's go ahead and read some more horror stories. Got a few horror stories for you all. People that you think are top flight. Security. Here we go. Got a few different people here we're gonna go over. Appreciate the patience, everybody. Looking for a few set people. Cheryl Swoops, NBA basketball player. Can't say women don't make no money. The first player to ever sign a WNBA contract was created in 1996. Swoops ran through reportedly $50 million in a sneaker deal to end up not being able to pay her rent. Oh wow. How abnormal. It's not. It's normal. Mike Tyson, one of the greats. The youngest boxer to win multiple titles. More than $300 million from boxing alone. Tyson failed his way through his fortune and ended up flat on his mat with under $38 million in debt. Now, of course, Tyson and a lot of people end up recovering, but that doesn't mean that they didn't have a hard situation in the process of getting all this money. And these are the type of people that have it's your SSN type thought process. So, we're going to see, let's do another one. Whitney Houston. The self-described, no, excuse me. That was definitely not hers. Whitney Houston did not draw up a new will when her daughter was born, but added a codicil to leave her daughter an entire estate. Leave her daughter her entire estate. Which was challenged by Houston's mother. Oh, you guys don't think you're gonna fight over assets when your family members die, right? That's why you can't own and control everything. But you think you're slick, gentlemen. You think you're gonna hide stuff from your wives. They're right there. It doesn't matter. It's in your name. It's in your name. The laws favor the women. Guys. She had a codicil to leave her an entire estate to her daughter, which was challenged by her mother. Oh, so your parents care more about your money than your children do. But you got young kids right now. You didn't plan for your demise yet. Why? You don't think you got any money to give away. But guess what happens with what you do have? Might be up for grabs with your parents. Houston could have reinforced her true wishes by updating her estate plan and structuring a better trust that would have always loved her daughter. They were saying that because, she has the song I Always Love You. Alrighty. Here we go. Ray Charles, even though had an estate worth $75 million, by some estimates, he did a slightly nicer rendition of Hit the Road Jack by leaving a total of $500,000 to his 12 children and the rest of his charity. Now you see how he gave supposedly each of his children a slight $500,000, and the rest of it went where? To his charity. What did Warren Buffett say? I'm not going to give it to my children. I'm going to give it to my charity. Well, do you know that his children might be working in a charity? Right. The relatively small bequest to his to his children, and ill-defined remarks from Charles ensued an estate battle, which started soon as he died. Is it that easy to just leave money behind to your family? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. It's never going to be easy to leave something. Why? Because it's in your name. That's all. Y'all know who this person is that I'm about to say. Princess Diana. Oh, she's a royal. Don't tell me. Don't tell me, Trust Christian. Say it isn't so. Took a shortcut by using an accompanying letter that left 25% of her personal possessions to her 17 godchildren, which should have left the heirs with about $160,000 each. But she left the distribution at the discretion of her executors, who had. That's why you're in trustee training. So you're not leaving it in the lawyer's hands. So you're not leaving it in the court's hands. There you go. A court. Okay. But she left the distribution at the discretion of her executors, who had a court toss the letter of wishes, and instead bestow a trinket to each godchild to remember Diana by. The will and trust are more durable instruments for carrying out wishes than any accompanying letter or list, even though they are frequently used in estate planning. Oh, but that's what happens with the royal elite. That's what happens. Is it your SSN? Might want to think about that. Trustee training, Christian at trustchristian.com. We have a workshop coming up on May 1st. We actually probably have about a few seats left. No more. We don't have any more than a few seats. We told you I was going to sell it out. We did that. Simple as that. We got a few seats left. We're not going to press it, but we already know it's always a sellout show on the road. Appreciate everybody for looking out, being there. It's going to be a power pack when this first quarter, and wrapping up the first quarter and going into the second quarter. And we're in the second quarter now. We're gonna have probably 2 more workshops this year. So just be on the lookout for that. We're right now looking like mid-August, just because we know a lot of people got a plan for children possibly going back to school and things like that. So we'll probably knock it out mid-August. But appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Once again, this is the Vault 307, episode 307. Is it your SSN? Really needed to talk about this because this really needs to call people into question about this whole do I own a social, do I have a social, and all this other stuff. We understand people are going to ask you questions in the public about a social, but that's not your job to capitulate. Your job is to know what the truth is, and the truth is no, you don't have one, but hey, many people feel they do. They didn't create it, but they do. Hold on, the government didn't create your kids, But supposedly the government can take away your kids because of the social security number. Oh, that's how we give people control? It's by voluntary consent? That's all it is. That's all it will ever be. It's called voluntary consent to get benefits for the general welfare, the general public. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening, replay. Shout out Christian at trustchristian.com is the email. Christian at trustchristian.com for the workshop. Look forward to hearing from you all. Once again, it's Christian at trustchristian.com. Look forward to hearing from you all, seeing you there. It's coming down to the wire. Look forward to seeing you there. Peace.